It's Monday, the 23rd of October. Welcome to The Bigger Picture.
In The Bigger Picture tonight, show business icon Elaine Page. Writer and broadcaster Griff Rhys-Jones. Comedian Ed Byrne. Boxing legend George Foreman. And your host, Graham Norton.
Welcome to The Bigger Picture, where my guests and I take a sort of personal look at what's been in the news. Let's get straight on with our first story. Griff Rhys-Jones, we've made you into the wife of everyone's favourite Beatle that's still alive. Heather Mills. I see where you're going to go now, aren't you?
It looks good. I look quite like her.
Shameless, doesn't it?
It's fantastic.
Now, it's all going wrong for Paul and Heather. Lots of mud being slung. Leaked papers have alleged that Heather was abused by Paul. Though if Paul did slap her, it'd be his first hit since 1986. The story is in all the papers. No one really wants to take sides. I can't. I'm sure the Star just picked this picture of Paul at random. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, it's an angry vegetarian. Don't mess. Yeah, vegetarians, they're rubbish. According to a leaked paper, Paul McCartney fell down a hill whilst drunk. So he was legless. What's wrong with that, Heather? Listen, I mean, I have to say, I do feel a bit sorry for him. A little bit sorry. I think because our libido has made fools of us all. And now, Griff...
Yes?
I believe you've been busy writing a book.
I have.
And in this, some of the funny stuff is at the beginning when your loins begin to stir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Your stirring loins amused me. So when did you kind of... begin to notice girls?
It was the ballroom dancing lessons.
Ah.
At my school, they had ballroom dancing lessons,
Did
and
they?
with the high school, it was fantastic.
I
and the
did
high
ballroom
Did
dancing
you?
as well, yeah.
Did you? Wasn't
Yeah.
it exciting?
I loved it.
Yes, terrific.
great
And
stuff.
do you see, it's so sexy, isn't it, these days? Well, you would
bad.
know. You would know.
It's
You would know.
bad.
It's the most sexy thing. And they would line up all the girls from the high school in a sort of meat rack on the other side. On the other side of the school hall. And then the woman who ran the thing, who would say, "Now, come on, boys, go and choose a girl." It was the most exciting thing. So, obviously, I associate eroticism with the smell of floor polish. So I can do the samba, the cha-cha-cha, the polka,
can you
the
quick
foxtrot,
step?
and I can get a bra off with one hand.
I wish I'd gone to your school. They didn't teach us any of that.
They were also sitting opposite me, rather like these girls down here now, and there were two identical twins. And I chose one of the identical twins as my partner, and we fell in love. It was a really quite frightening... It was Shakespearean. It was,
And weren't you
yes.
slightly insecure that you hadn't got the best one?
Inevitably. Well, not the best one, the one who would do the most, obviously. At that,
But George, you are a married man. Anniversaries abound. Because you've been married for 10 years. And
No. 10 years. I have 10 kids.
Well, surely that's married for 10 years. But how long have you been married then?
Oh, a lot longer than 10 years.
He said, a lot longer than 10 years.
Over 20 years.
Really?
Yeah, more than 20 years.
Wow. More than 20 years.
I'm trying to think, you know.
So it's 10 years. So it's 10 years anniversary for your grill.
That's right. 10 years. We've been promoting the lean, mean, fat-reducing grilling machine.
I've seen you on other shows. You love your grill.
I do so much that, look, since you're the most wonderful person in the world, you have a grill. It's for you.
Shall I open it now?
Yeah.
Now, did you choose this wrapping paper for me?
Is it a pink grill?
Uh-oh. It is a pink grill! It's a pink grill!
So whenever you're in the pink, you get your pink grill.
And in fairness, you're not just... this isn't just going ka-ching for you, it's also going ka-ching for the British Heart Foundation. Well
That's
done.
right.
And you're raising £300,000.
That's right,
That's
for
an
the sake of
expensive grill.
educating.
Yeah. Well done, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But now, getting married for 20 years, do you feel for Paul now? Because I knew that many years ago, you had money back then, didn't you?
Now, I've always had some money.
Yeah. But do you
Not
have a lot
much.
of money when you get married?
Not much. When you get married, you no longer have money, you just have a wife.
Paul McCartney's watching this show sobbing. George is right.
But you know what? If you have a wife and you make a lot of money, they deserve it. They have to put up with you.
Yeah.
There you go, yes.
What do I know?
Really. And you know, and if you, to be solid with them, just give them something. You want to have a, and then when they have a baby for you too, ugly thing you could be, give them the money. Give them the money.
Yeah, Paul, don't be so tight. In these leaked papers, it is claimed that Paul got drunk, took drugs, and stabbed her with a wine glass. Did you think, surely that's just a good night out in Liverpool? Oh, all right, you're from Liverpool. You left. Now,
I don't think he's done anything like that. This is the greatest human being I've met.
do you know Paul?
Yeah, I've met him. He's a wonderful guy. The most wonderful guy you'll ever meet who's a vegetarian.
Maybe you should go and have a word with Heather Mills' lawyer. I just go, I think Paul McCartney is a fantastic guy. I think that whole thing will go away.
Actually, it would, wouldn't it? Man Mountain shows up. Yeah. OK, Heather, case isn't so strong anymore.
It is incredible, the detail in these court papers that have been leaked. Stuff that's just completely irrelevant to a divorce case. Like, you know, he said he didn't like me breastfeeding because he said they were his breasts and he didn't like milk. Who? Like, someone's going to go, oh, really? He didn't like... Oh, that's another $1 million then. That's it.
And also, the thing is, he didn't like a breastfeeding because he wanted to believe that, you know, the breasts were exclusive to him.
Yeah, he owned
and
them.
You didn't think, Paul, check the internet. I think lots of people have access to them. They're there.
The thing is, if somebody offered me 30 million and a house in Brighton, I'd take the money and run.
Well, she can't run, apparently. But I know... No, that's... I didn't say that literally. She can run.
Let's move on. Elaine Page. Elaine Page, we've made you into American rapper Rhyme Fest. It's a good look, Elaine.
I look a bit like, you know, who's the guy that goes around and, you know, winds everybody up?
Jeremy Beadle.
No. Yes, actually.
Him too. Now, this is all about David Cameron, because David Cameron's been spreading himself a bit thin this week. Today, he gave a speech appealing to the elderly voter, but just a few days ago, he was meeting American rapper Rhyme Fest in a bid to grab the youth vote. Now, this is the real Rhyme Fest, outside Parliament, keeping it cool.
Is he also a Jedi Knight? This is not the rapper you're looking for.
Now, despite a murky past and accusations of connections with drugs, David Cameron is still the Conservative leader. Cameron has claimed that listening to rap lyrics promotes violence, but then so does looking at pictures like these. You could slap that face, couldn't you? You could. You could, George, you could. He'd stick his head in a grill. Cameron met rapper Rhyme Fest at the House of Commons, along with other politicians and even the notorious B.I.G. Now, You know, as a performer, politicians, they love... They like show business, politicians, don't they?
I think they do. I mean, it's theatre, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, being in Parliament.
Because you perform... Who have you performed? You performed for... Is it Ronald Reagan you performed for?
I have, yes, over at the White House. That was pretty special. And I met him afterwards, and he came up. Nancy was sort of, you know, telling him where to go and who to speak to and everything. And he came up to me and sort of nodded and looked down at me for a long time, and he said, "I've got relatives in West Sussex." And I thought, oh, that's nice.
Do you think his relatives in West Sussex shout about that, though?
But what I thought was a bit worrying was that, you know, because he was, you know, he was heading towards Alzheimer's and everything like that already at the beginnings of it, and it was rather worrying to think that, you know, this is the guy, you know, that could go like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then people have to tell him what he just did. You know what you just did. Now, Elaine Page, she's got a CD out, George. Yes.
I wouldn't hear that.
Now, rather cleverly, because Elaine's got a show on Radio 2 on a Sunday lunchtime, and she got her listeners to vote on what songs they wanted her to sing on the CD. So now they're morally bound to buy it.
Well, are there any surprises, though, Elaine?
There were a few,
Yeah,
yes.
there's a lot of votes for I Got 99 Problems, but a Bitch Ain't One.
That's track 3.
That's track 3.
Yeah.
There are a couple of cowboy musicals that I couldn't do because I don't do cowboys.
Really? Oh, go on! You're fussier than I am. And this is out today.
It is, yes.
This very day.
This
So when
very
you go to the
day.
airport tomorrow,
I'll get a couple.
you're there, yes. But you are touring up and down the land.
I am, yes. I'm doing yo-yo all over the place. I start out next Sunday and I'm going 20 dates all over the UK.
And am I allowed to say about the
What, my Mini Winnie?
Yeah, your Mini Winnie.
Yeah.
Now, is Mini Winnie a posh expression for caravan?
Probably.
No, have you seen it yet?
Yes, yes, the man came all the way from Birmingham a couple of Sundays ago and he gave me a trial run down the A3. It was brilliant. I was laying there, you know, bumping around in the back, so to speak. It's going to be a fantastic tour, this.
You've got a live DVD out.
Yeah, notice you don't have a copy of that. Oh, his
No, I
book, her
don't.
CD, his grill sitting
Doesn't
there,
have
my
room on the
DVD can go and
desk,
f*** itself. I think I've got a copy up my own arse. There may as well be. Yes, my DVD, Pedantic and Whimsical. It's out now.
But you're on tour as well.
I am on tour. I was in Huddersfield last night. They were brilliant.
Worth it.
They were fantastic. I was fine, but, you know, you're only as good as your audience. They were brilliant.
What was the story? When was the Edinburgh? Was it last Edinburgh where you maybe had a drink too many? Is that a bad story to tell?
I don't know. It could be any night of any Edinburgh Fringe Festival in the last 12 years.
It involves David Copperfield.
Oh, and I did the same joke twice. Yeah, I actually did. At the start of the night, I was hammered. I was hosting one of these late night shows because loads of late night shows in the festival, and I was talking to the audience, and I normally quite scripted in my stand-up, but I got in amongst the audience and I was talking to them, and I did this joke about the fact I don't normally like to talk directly to people in the audience in case they say something really horrible, like tell me how their mother died that day, and just creates a really bad atmosphere. And I was just saying, you imagine even David Copperfield when he does a show, he worries about that. He'd maybe go to somebody in the audience and go, "No, sir, we've never met before." In the back of his head, there's always that worry that the guy's going to go, "Yeah, we have, actually. Yeah. 10 years ago in Vegas, I was chatting to a woman in a bar. You came in, showed her a card trick and pissed off. You're a dick." So don't worry, that worry that's going to happen. And I made this remark to the audience at the start of the night and then made it again. Completely haven't forgotten I made the remark. I know that it was me and another comedian, Adam Bloom, were on stage at the time, both just mucking about, and it just popped into my head to say it again. And I'd already done 2 other gigs that night, so I went, well, of course I've already told this joke. I've done 2 other gigs tonight. Yeah, this is your 4th time telling the joke.
Well, let's take a quick look at another story. We've made you into a portrait of the Queen. You probably haven't seen this. A new portrait of the Queen was unveiled at the Tate Modern this week. It's by a respected American artist called George Condo. Here it is. I don't know a lot about art, but that's shit. That really is. That, isn't it? It's not good.
That is hanging in the Tate.
That is hanging in the Tate.
And he's hanging in the Tower. We hope.
The Queen didn't actually sit for the portrait. It was based on a photograph. Yeah. According to the Sunday Times, Kondo considered doing a nude portrait of the Queen. That'd be quite a sitting, wouldn't it? Queen with a carefully placed corgi and a couple of spaniels. Before showing it to the public, the royal family got a sneak preview. Now, you've met the Queen, haven't you, Ed?
Well, I did the Royal Variety, which I'm sure most of us here probably have. I did the Royal Variety.
I did it, but no, I scarpered. I didn't meet them. I just thought it was too rude to make Prince Charles shake my hand and pretend to like me.
No, I met the Queen. We didn't speak for very long because Prince Philip was there as well, and they were trying to hurry him along, I think, just in case he'd said something terribly racist. Ah, you're a Mick, aren't you? I think they were probably just worried about something like that. Also, I was standing next to a girl from The Lion King who'd been in the show. And she was a black girl dressed as an ape, and you could just see them just with Prince Philip just there going, just keep him moving, just keep him moving. I saying the wrong thing. I met Prince Edward once. We were both on Des O'Connor, the show.
Okay.
But he was quite funny because it was around the time he started calling himself Edward Windsor. You know,
yes.
And I said to him, because it is true, because I was a big Prince fan when I was growing up, and people used to call me Prince Edward at school. And I said to him, people used to call me Prince Edward when I was at school because I was a big Prince fan. And he said, oh, I'm the Prince formerly known... he said, I'm the producer formerly known as Prince, which I thought was quite humorous for a member of the royal family.
That is funny.
I mean, the fact that I up the joke in the retelling.
Yeah. He's at home. He's at home going, "Oh my God, my joke, my joke."
I wrote that joke, and he's a professional comedian, and he arsed it.
I saw him in a Pizza Express once. Lovely skin. Now, originally, somewhere in the midst of time, we were talking about art. Did anyone see this story? American casino owner Steve Wynn stuck his elbow through a Picasso painting worth £74 million just after agreeing to sell it. Now, this is the painting. It's called La Rêve, or in English, Fat Woman with a head that looks a bit like a cock. Have you met Steve Wynn in Vegas? You must have.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't see. That's the problem.
He can't see.
No, he's really a blind man, and he probably just had an accident.
Why is he buying paintings if he's a blind man?
To him, that looks like a very attractive woman.
I got the most expensive painting in the world here.
Goes with the carriage.
Oh, my God. Hey, don't worry about that. I got plenty more downstairs. Let's get him up here. You want to do it, too? Put your elbow through the...
You can talk. You've spent money on a painting.
Yeah, but I only bought it because it's cheap. I was at the Edinburgh Festival. This was years before you guys even arrived, when it used to be an art festival, and they used to have paintings on sale there. And I bought a painting there, which I was very fond of, and it was a punk painting. And it had been drawn by the artist and then stuck together with bits of